Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Gil here at Gray Man Prepping. Well, people have been asking me for another installment of prepping in private, so here it is. I'm making room for it. Sometimes when you're prepping and doing things, you get really busy and you don't have a chance to do everything you want to do. Uh, that's what I'm going through right now. So, but for you, I'm putting out a new prepping in private. This is hiding in plain sight, and we're going to be talking about the different things that you can do to hide in plain sight, to blend in, to be the gray man, and not have your preps and all your plans exposed. All right. So let's shift over to this one here. There we go. Let's take a look at the slides here. Okay. So basically, one of the things that we're prepping and hiding in plain sight comes into being is, you're not bugging out, you're staying put. The event doesn't cause you to have to leave your home. So you're staying put. And so that's one of the things we'll be talking about. Not everything, in fact, not most events and stuff means you're going to have to bug out, head for the hills. You can be able to stay home, stay in place, just like all your neighbors are. You're going to blend in, and you're just going to be, staying at home. If like a major earthquake, whatever, you may not be going into work. You're staying at home until they get stuff fixed out, the roads, whatever. Now you don't need to bug out to the hills. Stay home and you're doing what you're doing. Now, if there may be other things going on, the power may be out, water may be out. There may be other things happening that you're going to need to keep the fact that you're prepared private and not let everybody know about it. Okay. Now, you blend in by hiding in plain sight. One of the things about this to consider does not mean, oh, I'm being the gray man, I got to wear all gray. No, you don't. You blend in. If everyone is wearing three-piece suits, you're not going to be wearing a hoodie. Right there is one of the things to consider. Superman had his blend-in identity of Clark Kent. And, he blended in with what, people were doing around him. Blended in as a commuter, so, reading the newspaper, everything else, pretending to be just like everyone else. Now, hiding in plain sight doesn't mean you go hide in an abandoned building somewhere, because not everybody's hiding in an abandoned building. And you're going to have to transport all your preps to that abandoned building, and it's not, unless it's your building, you have no legal right to be there anyway. So, you just don't go hide enough. Blending in is you fit in with the crowd. All right. Looking at this picture here, you got a lot of people that are carrying some sort of satchel or backpack or briefcase or something. So if you're carrying some supplies with you, you don't want to carry a big old camouflage backpack that, sticks up over your head, looks like a big old giant duffel bag. You're going to want to blend in with what people are wearing. Small, medium backpacks. You want to blend in with everyone else around you. Now we're going to talk probably about the biggest security breach hole in your prepping and private life. That is your garage. Because most people that have a house with a garage, they store a lot of their preps in the garage because, hey, they put shelves and stuff in there. Problem is, when the garage door opens up, is this what everybody's seeing? Do they see the shelves with all your supplies on it, with all the good stuff you have? And they're going like, wow, what are you doing? Opening up a store? You don't want to be, exposing this stuff, especially when people are walking by. Now, if you get some of the totes and stuff, the red and yellow, the black and yellow totes, or the black and red top totes, they got different color ones, but, or the plain gray ones over there, and even the opaque ones, make it harder to see what's actually in them. You're hiding a lot of your stuff where they don't see what it is. Now, One of the things here that I might consider doing here, I got right here, they say you got the generators and stuff there exposed to being seen. Someone seen that, well, hey, I remember so-and-so had a generator in their garage. You just, by remembering that, they become a target. What you can do is you can just hang a sheet across there and, so they can't see certain things that are in there. Just something to hide what it is. Now, there's other ways of hiding things as well. So the one main thing is don't show your preps off accidentally or on purpose. You don't need to be bragging about it out there to all your neighbors close by. Now, the cheap, translucent ones here, they make it a little difficult to see what is actually in them. And so you're not showing it off quite as much. But, if you're up there working, the garage door is open, you're putting stuff away, and when your neighbors walks up, hey, neighbor, how's it going, and start talking at you, they're going to be looking, they're going to be seeing that you have certain things here inside these clear plastic containers. Containers that you can't see the contents of, like these white ones here, are much better. But then again, with the labels on there, the labeling can give away what you have in your preps and stuff. So you might want to use, code words or something else, that other things that you will understand what it means for what's in there without someone just standing there looking at it. You're going to want to come up with different ways of labeling your boxes that is unique to you and your family, so that neighbors and stuff won't know exactly what it is you have in there. One of the things that works, and it's really cheap, are cardboard boxes. The plastic boxes containers and totes and stuff get expensive. And if you can get cardboard boxes, they got the moving boxes you can pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's or U-Haul. You can get moving boxes at U-Haul, and you just pack stuff in them. Now, sometimes you'll receive boxes shipping from Amazon or some other places. If they're a big box, save it, because you can always reuse it for this. Again, here we have, spending a little bit of money to hide your preps, but they got all these gray containers, like you get at Wally World, and they have stuff stored in there, and they got labels in smaller print on there. So someone's got to get up close to read it to find out exactly what it is you have in there. One of the other ways of doing it is getting shelving systems that have doors on it. And that way you can just, close the doors and they can't see what's in there. There are a variety of different type of systems you can get. And it all depends on, how much you want to spend on keeping your preps private. And you don't have to get the real fancy ones. You can get the cheap ones from one of the big box stores. Now, one of the other things, if you're in like an apartment or you're in a small house where you don't have a lot of storage place, you can store off-site. So in storing off-site is like, the self-storage places. If you're going to be storing food there, you want to make sure that self-storage place is A, insulated, B, has temperature regulated controls for it. And you may want to check it out and to make sure that everything is temperature regulated if that's what you're paying for. Now, the bonus to this is that you're buying a lot of stuff and you put it here, your neighbors aren't going to be seeing you stockpiling. And generally at these self-storage centers, there's not a lot of traffic there with people coming and going. So there's not going to be very many people seeing what you're storing. Now, there are ones that have outside doors like this, and there's other ones where you have a key code, you get into the main hallway, you go down the hallway, and then they got the roll-up doors inside. So you need if you're thinking about doing this, you need to look at it at all the aspects, the ease of getting stuff in and out, the security of the building, the temperature control of the building, so that anything you store in there doesn't get ruined. Now, the ones that have the inside doors instead of outside doors like this are better protected from rodents, because usually they have a 36-inch wide door that closes, and it keeps keep mice and stuff out. Or they'll have the double doors, so you can open up and have almost 6 foot wide to take bigger stuff in and out. Whereas these out here, you're not always guaranteed that these are going to seal tight and keep rodents out. All right, now in certain events, if the power is out, you want to keep your light inside. You don't want to show everybody on the street, I got power. Yes, I'm prepped. I'm one of these guys that have emergency power and everything else, and have them come knock on your door. Can I run an extension cord over here? So you want to keep your light indoors, and there's several ways you can do that. There are blackout curtains. And the problem is, like looking at this type of curtain here, if you look close at the top, it weaves back and forth, so you can get some light around it from that going out. If you have the we used to call them Venetian blinds, the louver blinds, usually on the side there's a gap. And there's aftermarket things so that you can get to keep it more secured so light doesn't get out around it. There is probably the most not perfect, but the most absolute way of keeping light out. There's some thick applique vinyl type things you put over the window that stop absolutely all light. Now, if you can get these big blackout curtains that hang really close to the sides, or you get them where they hang in the middle of the room, and these will help block out light as well. But when blocking out light on this, you're still going to get some light going around it. But if you have blackout curtains, the louvers, the safety stuff on it, and even just some of the film that doesn't totally block out all the light, but it really limits it, you're not going to have probably any light, hardly any light showing at all. And any light that does show, it's going to be so dim, they're going to think that you just have a candle. And you want to act like most of your neighbors. You don't want to stand out. If most of your neighbors are looking for, going door to door, oh, do you got any extra candles? Do you have a generator? Do you have any extra battery stuff? And there's a lot of them doing that. You might do that too. Go to a couple of neighbors and, hey, all my batteries are dead. Do you have a couple of batteries I can, borrow and replace when the power comes back on? And so that's one of the things you can do there to blend in. Right. Don't invite anybody inside. This may seem kind of harsh on certain things. Like, all right, during an event, yeah, I can see, say, you don't want to invite people in so they can see that you got lights and, lanterns and everything else all around and power, and you're living comfortably during the power outage. But in general, you're not going to be trying to invite a lot of your neighbors inside where they can see what you have. If you do invite anybody in, make sure that everything is hidden. You don't want to be showing off what you have. Now, the first installment of Prepping in Private was, talked about where to hide food, money, etc. And it showed you ways to hide your preps so that when you do have guests come over, they don't see it. This is one of the slides from it where you got a closet and you hide it behind a bookshelf. So they look at the thing to see bookshelves. They don't realize that you have a closet behind there that could be either full of kind of junk like they have here, just as an eyesore, or it could be full of food and preps. Keeping others out. Sometimes you just want to, disappear from sight, but you don't want anybody, coming around, knocking on the door, trying to get in. And there are several ways you can work on that. You can get these printed forms and stuff that you can, put on the door so that they think, A, you're gone, and B, that the police are now monitoring. There are different things. You can make these up. There are all sorts of templates online. Now, if someone forces their way in, you have to make a decision. And we'll talk about this in other videos, but I'm just going to touch on it here lightly here. Depending on the event that's going on, that's going to influence your decision. Say it's just an earthquake and law enforcement is still functioning, although not very good, but they're still functioning. It means that the laws are still functioning. You're going to be held accountable for whatever you do if you violate a law. Now, some people just say, I'm going to stand my ground. Well, in certain states, they have stand your ground laws. They have laws of, the castle doctrine laws, where your house You can use deadly force to protect your house. You can use deadly force to protect your property. But even though the laws say you do, you still need to be careful about that. Friend Steve over at Corsair Trainers did several videos on the use of force. And this is the link for the his playlist. And I'll try to remember to put it down below. But you can always just pause it here and type it in. Go over there and look for his use of force playlist and check it out. So I hope this helped you out a bit in figuring out one of the ways to hide in plain sight. One of the things I'm going to be touching on here in videos coming up, in fact, the next video on it, hang on, I'm going to look over here at my sheet here, talks about purchasing goods and stuff. And I will talk about a little bit about it there, but I'm also going to talk about it here right now. If you go to the store and you're buying supplies, and everybody else is shopping and they're getting a half a cart full of supplies, don't pile your cart up so high that everybody's going to be going, wow, wonder what they're doing. If you're like at Wally World, or you're at Sam's Club or Costco and everybody's piled high, you can blend in. However, if you're buying certain things like shelving units at some of the stores, and you got to get those big carts, with the low carts that you pile it on, don't go ahead and get the shelves and then pile it full of food as well, because then that's going to stand out. Make more than one trip. That's one way just to blend it. People see you out there, oh, you're just getting some stuff. And you come back 2 hours later or so after you put all that away, those people are gone. So anybody that's at the store now doesn't know you've been there earlier in the day. So you can get more stuff. Now, at home, when you're bringing that stuff home, if you have a garage you pull into, perfect, because then they're not going to see what you're unloading out of the car. However, if your garage is full of bicycles and shelving full of preps and other things where you never pull into the garage, you park in the driveway, then you're going to have to figure out how you're going to be taking the stuff in where you don't draw too much attention. Now, I've talked about it on live streams, both here on Gray Man Prepping and over on my other channel, Camp Pat and Family Compound, about ways you can hide what you're taking in. A lot of people now are getting these insulated bags to put their milk and cheese and butter and stuff in, and frozen foods in, so they don't defrost or get warm while they're doing their shopping. Well, you can also get other big bags from other stores like TJ Maxx, Target, and Nordstrom's and stuff that look like they're for clothing, and you put all your food into that. And so when you carry that bag in, your nosy neighbors are saying, oh, they're just getting more clothes. They're not thinking food. They're thinking, clothes. I don't like what they're wearing anyways. So you're hiding in plain sight what you're taking into the house. So I hope this all makes sense to you. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, put it down below in the comment section and I'll answer those. And as always, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water is most important. Food, then medicine, clothing, and skills. Always add more skills to your preps. See you around.